Up by Jawbone. So here's a piece of hardware I decided to go off to the Apple store and buy. I paid $129.95, which I find a little bit expensive for what it is. But basically, I guess that's the price I had to pay at this time. I looked around everywhere and essentially it goes around the same price. Now, one of the main issues about the Up by Jawbone is, will it fit your wrist properly? Now, what I didn't know, and I actually went off and did the whole cord thing and tried to measure my wrist, and by going to the Apple store, I realized that if you flip this area here, you've got basically an opening to fit your wrist in. So when you do put your wrist through, your wrist should, in theory, fit like this here. So according to this measuring system, I fit a large. I would probably also fit a medium. Medium would just be a little bit tighter. This is the box, so it's basically a hard cover. It's got a the paper bottom, which you could easily just slip off like this here. Once you open up the box, you basically have a little tab over here. You open it up, and you get the basic instructions, which nobody, in theory, reads right away. After that, inside here, you've got the USB charger, which is cleverly hidden inside here. And then you get the Jawbone wristband up here, which is comes pre-charged. So if I open it up, essentially you have two stickers, which I actually have already removed. So you would take those two stickers out and just pull the top right off, and there's your wristband. And you slip it off like this here, and basically this is what it looks like up close. Now I took the black one, so it's got nice little design on it. Now most people would basically put it on like this here with the top up, so it would look something a bit like this here. I kind of like wearing it this way here simply because I find it more comfortable for me. So that's basically how I've been wearing it. So I've been wearing it for about 3 days now and tracking, you know, my habits, my walk, my sleep. I've even been inputting different foods that I've been eating throughout the day, so it calculates the calories that you've burnt that day, and also those 2 cheeseburgers that day as well. So again, here's your wristband, compatible to the iPhone 3GS, the iPhone 4, the iPhone 5, and also some of the Android devices. That being said, I've also found that you can get some of the information by logging on to jawbone.com and signing in and just registering the device itself. So you get a bit of information through there, but generally it works with your iPhone. And the way it works is you take off this cap over here, and you're basically going to get a 3.5 mil earphone jack, which you just grab your iPhone, and then you just put it into the earphone jack like so, and then you load up the app onto the phone itself, and Presto, it'll download everything. One thing that I found a little bit strange but comforting is the fact that Jawbone doesn't have a Bluetooth system on a wristband, which is actually comforting in a way. So at first I was a little bit turned off by the idea, but then after reading on Bluetooth and long-term effect, I'm kind of happy it doesn't have Bluetooth. So essentially I'm wearing a wristband that's made out of apparently medical grade rubber, which will, basically not cause any allergic problems, nor will you have any issues about being exposed to Bluetooth raised constantly all day, which some of the other competitors actually basically are constantly connected Bluetooth to your phone. Another great thing about this is the fact that it's not Bluetooth. It's not going to constantly drain your battery all day. The cons, mind you, is the fact that you've constantly got to plug it onto your phone. So I do it maybe 2-3 times a day. Versus if you had the Bluetooth, it would be basically instantaneously, it would show up on your display, and all the data would be real time. The Jawbone is not real time data. You've got to plug in, you've got to sync it in, and essentially that's how it works. Some of the cool features that you'll find on the Jawbone wristband is basically it will vibrate you depending on what you set in the software as far as an alarm. So instead of waking up the whole household when you have your alarm on, you'll be able to set up different times, a little bit like your iPhone, you sync it to the wristband, and essentially from there, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by day, several times a day, it will let you know by vibrating gently on your wrist while you're wearing it. So you get to wear it 24 hours a day. Now, it's also water resistant, meaning you could take a shower with it. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but according to the documentation and what I've read online, you can. But keep in mind, water resistant. In other words, don't go for a swim. Don't go, don't go in the ocean. Don't submerge it in water. Basically, I wouldn't even personally do dishes with it. You pay $130. You don't want to ruin it in water. Another really interesting part is there are firmware updates. I currently have one which I'm about to install using, again, the USB charger, which is basically included with the box that you purchase, which has a tip basically like this here, which will fit in to your 3mm jack, which you get by removing the cap from your wristband. So by plugging it up to your computer, going on to Jawbone.com, downloading the app software, you'll be able to update the firmware on your wristband, adding additional features, I'm sure, in the future. Another really interesting fact about the wristband, which I had no idea at the time of purchase, is you can actually add other apps. The wristband will sync with those apps on your iPhone, giving you more accurate reads on there, and also allowing you to basically team up with people who've got other wristbands like the FlexBit or the Nike Watch wristband, so you could basically sync with those people as well. So it's using third-party apps, you're not only limited to people who actually have the app by Jawbone, but you could actually sync up with people with all kinds of other different devices, making it extremely interesting. The device itself would also sync to Twitter, Facebook, basically updating the feed. If you allow to, it'll automatically do it, or you could actually choose different activities or different stats that you want to share with your friends, which is also makes it a little bit interesting. So anyhow, this is my first review of the product. I'm going to keep on reviewing it as time goes, just to let you know if I'm still using it, which is actually my big fear. You spend that kind of money and you only use it for a week, 2 weeks, and then you stop using it altogether. So my goal is to use it for at least 1 million steps. I'll update you between now and then.